Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is Wednesday, and that means we bring on one of my experts, Mr. Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. As you know, contrary to popular belief, all mortgage folks aren't crying in their own hands right now because of mortgage rates.
Oh, I mean, you sent me a text. I think it was Friday. It was like, oh my God, look what's going on. I'm like, dude, this is good news. The market's going to finally slow down. I mean,
yeah, I love getting the text from you too. You're like, I'm watching the 10-year Treasury overnight stuff, and I don't think it's going to be a good day for you tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to suck. Yeah, speaking of the 10-year, it hit 1.9 today. Right, wow. It's retreated since, but yeah, it hit 1.9. So actually what I want to talk about is I read an article, Mortgage Brokers Association or Mortgage Bankers, I think it was. And man, sometimes it feels good to predict stuff and it comes true. I said last week or the week before that as rates shoot up, people will come racing off the sidelines. Unfortunately, they're racing off the sideline into an environment with almost no inventory. It's kind of a double whammy. So I've told folks for the next 6 to 8 weeks, it's going to be really, really messy. And something in the mortgage bankers, like right at the end, a mortgage banker was quoted as saying, I saw more first-time home buyers in the last 2 weeks than I've seen in the last 20 years.
Wow.
And what that tells me is first-time home buyers are, how should I say this? They're acting with urgency, maybe when, I don't know, it's just everybody rushes in at the same time and people could really get hurt and overpay.
I totally agree. Yeah, it happens on purchase. It happens on refinance where it's like, oh, hey, look, things make sense. Let's do it. You know, for whatever reason, people have busy lives and whether it be purchase a home or refinance a home, they're kind of, just in this kind of holding pattern or no sense of urgency. Then all of a sudden rates go up, something changes like, oh my gosh, and so I certainly see that. There was a Redfin article that I referenced in a video I shot yesterday. If rates go above 3.5%, how will that change your home buying? And they surveyed home buyers, and half of the home buyers said it would create more of a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
And so maybe it shouldn't, and maybe I'll add some color from my perspective that don't make rising interest rates be a reason that you go out and make a bad decision. Sure. Yes. You should still, go after and pursue home ownership, but don't think you have to buy this week because rates are going to be 6% next month. One, that's not going to happen. And two, like you said, with such low inventory, Mike, from my seat talking to people, it is wild. People are a little bit frantic. They're settling. I saw something from a mortgage broker who I know who was in Seattle. Mm-hmm. A client offered $300,000 above ask.
Oh God.
He saw it, or he posted the response from the listing agent. Thank you for your offer. It was amazing. We got 38 offers and eventually settled on $400,000 above our asking price. All contingencies removed. That's a higher price point than most people are playing in, but I'm seeing it across all price points, and it's because there's no inventory. The few people that are listing their homes are having a great time. They've got people lined up, and I think that it's a fine balance between going out there and finding something you like and not settling, because you're never going to find the perfect house. And I think people sometimes get caught up in that. And I tell them, 80-10-10, 80% of the things you want, need, and like in a home, 10% that you can change, and 10% that you can learn to live with. And that's something that I've told home buyers before. You still want to do that and don't spend 2.5 years searching for the perfect one. That's not going to come along. But on the other side is, you don't settle, right? You don't settle for like, we wanted 4 bedrooms, but we took 3. We wanted this neighborhood, we took that, and don't compromise on everything and just be like, I want a bit in the game. So I bought in a different zip code, and I bought something that was, run down, is going to stress me out and all that other stuff. Because there's not a lot of stuff to choose from.
Yeah, I just want to second that again. I'm really nervous for first-time home buyers today because, again, this sudden and aggressive interest rate move, which, oh, by the way, we called. So if you're watching the channel, it's not a surprise, but it is making people make bad decisions. right? It is making people make bad decisions. So don't settle, don't rush, don't settle. Because again, you're going to have buyer's remorse. You're going to have all of these things. So don't let that happen to you.
Right. Yeah. I think what you want to do is you want to keep a level head, take emotion out of it as much as you possibly can, educating yourself about here's what I qualify. Here's what it looks for. Public service announcement, revisit what the mortgage is going to look like. If you got pre-approved in December and you're going off those estimates, that has changed. But rates have gone up. It's a slight shift up. I went over some examples yesterday, and at like a $400,000 price point with 10% down, that client would see about $125 or $150 difference in payment. So it's something, right? It's 7 or 8% for some people's payment, but it's not the end of the world. It shouldn't be the difference between I want to become a homeowner and I want to continue to just pay increasing rents over the next decade. It shouldn't change it there. But the more comfortable you are with that, and this is what I always tell people, I think it makes that home buying experience not only an easier one, but one where you're making confident decisions. Okay, here's the price point that I'm comfortable with, the monthly payment that fits in with my budget, and then go out there and submit offers. And that way you're not, just out there flying by the seat of your pants with emotion.
Yeah. And then real estate investors, I strongly suggest you reach out to Matt and his team, because again, rates now are in the 4s. And a lot of you I've seen here recently are still doing calculations in the 3s. So figure out where you are at stand. Again, rates shot up really quickly. Let's kind of work in here. Do you think rates shoot up another 0.5 point in 3 weeks? Do you think that's even possible? I mean, do you think it's possible or?
Well, unlikely? We've seen it's possible. Yeah, we just had it. Yeah, but I think that it was a little bit of a buildup, and a lot of things are happening. We expect the Fed funds rate. Some are saying 1/8, some are saying 1/4. A lot of stuff that we knew was coming. I think the markets said, "Oh, this is real." And rates adjusted accordingly. To see it, increase by 0.5 or 0.75% in such a short period of time, again, I don't think is very likely. But if you look at like Mortgage Bankers Association forecasting for the Fed funds rate, the 10-year Treasury note, like that's going to continue both of those things to go up. And so we might go from 3.625, 3.75 on the primary stuff to the low 4s. But that might happen over 3, 6, 9 months. It's not like it's going to be next week. I mean, knock on wood.
Yeah. If you like it, lock it.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, dude. Internally at U Mortgage, literally had other loan officers going, don't make a mistake like me. Do like Matt, the mortgage guy. If you like it, lock it. Because there's plenty of folks that were like, oh man, that was a bad day. We lost 30 basis points. Let's wait and see what tomorrow brings. And then tomorrow it's 40 more basis points. The day after it's 35 more basis points. And it happened so fast, so quick. I remember like pre-approving someone and showing them 3.125. And then I was sad because it was 3.25. And I said, listen, for your scenario, we did the best we could. We locked it as soon as we submitted at 3.25. The client was like, okay, cool. And now I look back and I'm like, that's amazing what we did there 3 weeks ago, locking them at 3.25.
Yeah. Because would it be 4.25 today?
Well, on that primary scenario, it's probably 3.625. Yeah. But still, yeah, it's
hundreds of dollars,
hundreds of dollars
every month. So again, folks, one of the things you understand, if you do the work, do the research, interest rates matter. I actually would tell you right now, Matt, I think the Fed, specifically Powell, needs to raise 0.5 point the first time in March.
Holy cow.
Yeah, he needs to be a little Paul Volcker. He needs to come out with a big stick. I think a 0.25 point move is not enough. So I just wanted to put that here on January 19th, and we'll see what happens sometime in March. Yeah.
I guess we shall see. I think at least from what I'm seeing, is the forecast still for 1/4 in March?
I think the majority of folks are talking about 1/4. I think the majority of folks think Powell is a little more Bernanke Greenspan, meaning weak and a talker, where I think he needs to be Paul Volcker and whack this thing. So I don't know. Maybe
we're going to see.
We're going to see. That's right. Folks, again, if you're in this game and you need to get mortgage, most of us do. I strongly suggest Matt, the mortgage guy. How do you want them to reach out?
greatmortgagebroker.com. We've set that up especially for, folks that are reaching out, and all we need is a few bits of information where you're at and how we can help. We'll have a licensed loan officer on the phone with you within hours. That's the best way for sure. So if you find phone numbers or emails elsewhere, I encourage you, greatmortgagebroker.com is going to be the best way to get in touch with us.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.